Hey, I'm here in Dungat, Papua New Guinea this morning. Absolutely, as you can see, incredible place. You actually land downhill a little bit down there. It's like a 1% grade coming in. Super exciting as always. Wasn't sure if I was gonna be able to get in with the sun just because of the whole black hole effect, things like that, as you're coming into the mountains with the sun going into it. Anyway, I'm gonna be loading up with some coffee out of here, heading back on like a 30-minute flight back into Goroka where it's nice and cloudy, low clouds. So I'm gonna walk you through my weight and balance, how I'm gonna fill my airplane with coffee getting out of here, just dried beans, so that they can go and sell it in town, or we can sell it for them, and I can bring the money back next week when I come back. So let's go ahead and get loaded up and get out of here on another exciting flight. Here's what I've got loaded in here. I've got 300 kgs of just raw coffee beans, and then about 100 kgs in the front pod, and then 100 in the second pod down here. So, and then I've got a couple other little things. So I've got about 525 kgs getting out of here, which is just a few shy, maybe like 15 or so underneath my maximum. I don't remember how long it is. It's fairly short coming in here. It's like a 11% slope original, like starting, and then kind of like goes down a hill and actually goes back up a hill 1%. So I'm gonna actually be taking more or less off uphill. You guys can see these clouds up here behind me. I'm probably gonna get up to like 14,000. I'm just guesstimating here because all of the gaps getting through here to get to the other side are plugged, and my minimum safe is like pretty high up. So let's get going. First thing I need to do is connect my iPad to the airplane. We've got a V2 track in here, so let's go Bluetooth. We're in Echo today. Now it's connected. Now my flight span here, you can see up here V2 just turned green. So this is the app that we use, it's called Flight Span. So coming over here to the nav tab, we are heading back to Goroka. I have through Tarabo because I thought I might have to do the cloud break getting back into Goroka, but I don't think that's going to be the case today. I've got 700 pounds of fuel on board, so let's go ahead and set that up here. 700 pounds. I don't have any seats right here, and I've got 2 on the back, as well as 2 empty propane bottles. And then I've just split my coffee up. So down here in the corner you can see negative 370 kgs is my penalty getting out of here because of the shortness of it. I can do another 16 kgs is all for my limit, and I'm right at the line, nice kind of more towards the rear on the CG, which is exactly what I want. Let's hit the kg button. I've got 1160 on my cargo. And my empty weight is 4340, so 4340. Total weight 6410, and I'm 6404, so we're within 10, so that's close enough for me. So we're gonna rotate at 59 and 70. So 70 and 59. Flight plan, let's come on down here and just invert this one from Goroka to Dungat. We'll invert it. There we go, and just flip-flops it. Hit our depart button. We're gonna go ahead and send that. And then it even goes right to my takeoff performance here. So it looks like I'm gonna be using 71% of my airstrip to get out of here. And that red line is my, I think, so yeah, 75%. VREF is 59, so we've already got our 59 right there. And we actually have maybe a knot of headwind, so that will help just a tiny bit as well. Our fuel, we've already got put in. Our caps, we've checked, and our selectors, I'm going to get in just a minute when we're ready to fully start. Our controls are good. We'll turn our train awareness system off. And you can see it also puts it on your screen here. That way, a G1000 is not yelling at me on takeoff. All right, our VREF's put in, and from there we'll do the rest. So let's go ahead and get started. All right, low start, oil pressure's coming in. Once it comes in into the yellow, we'll go ahead and introduce our fuel. NG is coming up as always. There's 30, we're looking for 35. There we go, and then we look up at the ITT, and it tops out at 632. So I'm on a side slope, as you guys can see. I don't know if you can actually see or not, but I'm on a side slope. I need to get lined up so that all this fuel from this tank isn't just draining into my left tank. 20 degrees of flaps. Throw our lights on. That's good, that's good. Get our trim set up as we're going, sitting here waiting for our prop to come in. Well, it was very cloudy getting out of Goroka this morning. I think it should be cleared up by now because, I mean, it's, what, almost 11:15 now? Right, brake is off. Let's get as close to this hill over here as we can. Help with lining up. And I'm gonna just go off to the right just a tiny bit because my nose wheel is probably not exactly straight. The torque of the airplane is going to want to pull me straight. It's just going to be easier just going a tiny bit off to the right initially. Moresby at 861 November Tango Echo Taxi.
November Tango Echo, what you get?
November Tango Echo Taxi, Dungat, Goroka, 1 POV.
November Tango Echo.
Alright, there is our flight plan for getting back into Goroka. If it all works out, we will see. Alright, ignition, inlet, and lights are done. We've done that. Alright, got a couple drops of water on the windshield. Let's see, we're going back at 12,000 feet. All stations, Dungat 1239er, Kodiak November Tango Echo will be departing Dungat for Goroka, beyond climb 12000. Looks like it might be clear over there potentially. Alright, we are 5,025 degrees, so 1330 for 1380. So ignition, condition. It's 20 fuel and harnesses. We're brakes release on this one, so there's no stopping after we get going. After takeoff, we'll pitch for 85 knots, considering our EPL, and we'll feather. If that doesn't work, then we'll go 0 degrees of flaps as we head down the valley, then 85, 80, masters off, crack my door. 1330. Let's get going. I'm gonna lock my elbow in so it's not bouncing around. And like I said, 71% of the runway. Alright, torque is set. There's 720 on the ITT. Airspeed's alive. There is airborne, maybe. Oh, just barely. For ITT up to 740 because it's still sitting at 720. Oh, great. Yeah, it looks like some holes potentially back there.
500.
We could go up through this one as well, but it's going to take quite a few thousand feet. I'm at 5,000. It's going to take probably 12,000 at least to get through that. I'm just going to do a really big right-hand 360 out of here. Alright, let's get the nose over and start getting our flaps out now that we're up in a safer altitude. There's over 80. There's over 90. And we'll bring our prop on back to 2,000 RPM. trim for 100 knots for our best climb. Let's turn our landing lights off, engine inlet back to normal, and let's call it Moresby. Moresby 8861, November Tango, Echo departure. November Tango Echo departed Dungat, time 50. We'll be tracking 268 on climb 12000. Estimating Goroka 22.
November Tango Echo confirm climb 12000.
Affirm 12000.
November Tango Echo copied. No additional traffic to pop out till Quebec. Eurocopter still operating wind mine, not above 8,000.
Copy all, and due weather will not be able to remain OCTA. We'll need to transit NADZIB airspace, please.
November Tango, confirm you'll be transiting NADZIB airspace remaining OCTA?
I will be transiting NADZIB airspace. We'll need clearance. November Tango Echo.
November Tango Echo, stand by.
Alright, I hate getting clearance through NADZIB because they don't have radar, so they have you like do all these like VOR radials and at specific times, and it's just such a huge pain, but I don't think I can get where I need to go unless I turn back around and realize that I actually can not actually remain out of their airspace. So I'm at 7,000, I've got another 5,000 feet to go to get over this ridge behind me. And let me just show you real quick here. If you come down here and you highlight this little box, it shows that their airspace starts at 10,000 feet. Well, these ridges are at like 9,000 feet. So unless you can get right across the ridge and stay underneath it, well, then you're gonna have to get clearance to go through their airspace, which is a huge pain in the butt. But that's all right. Let's look up NADZIB. And the approach, let's just go to VOR because it has 113.9 is what I want. So, right, 113.9. We'll switch over to there, and then we're going to have to switch. We're also going to have to come down here and hit our PDF, and we're going to have to change this to
November Tango Echo Moresby.
November Tango Echo, go ahead.
November Tango Echo, ATC to transit control, airspace track Dungat to Goroka via Ocean track 268 to Goroka, transit at 12000.
Better transit NADZIB airspace, track 268 12000, November Tango Echo. Okay.
November Tango Echo.
Well, 268 is my track to Goroka already. So I need to go through there. I'm at 11,000 now. I've got 1,000 foot to go. I've got one hole right there that I think I can squeeze through. So I'm just going to start turning that way now. We've already got this, so let's get off this screen here. Down our big map. And I don't see that hole anymore. I see another one maybe. So let's put our terrain on here so we at least have that. We're climbing on up to 2,000 or 12,000. Right, so he doesn't require me to get the VOR stuff, so that's good. That's usually they do, and it's a huge pain. So let's move on from that. I'm almost at 12,000. I do have a couple little holes over here, but they're not really great. So I think what I'm going to do is just track along it, see if I see a hole I can get cut through. Otherwise, I'm just going to have to go up a little bit higher. Moresby 8861, November Tango Echo.
November Tango Echo, Moresby, good.
November Tango Echo, requesting non-standard 13,000 for the next 5 minutes just so I can get out of this valley, and then I'll drop back down to 12,000.
November Tango Echo, north for the traffic, 13,000 non-standard.
November Tango Echo. All right, there we go. 12.7. We're clear here. Let's get on this track over here though, as it's throwing me all around. Let's go ahead and bring our torque on back. So bypass, pitot heat's on. Alright, there we go. Let's just zip on over here around those clouds. We're not just getting thrown around for the next 2 minutes. Okay, well, now we can head on back down to 12,000. Like I said, it's just for like 2 seconds, just to get you over top of the mountain. And it's beautiful on this side, just like I thought. There we go. Mooresby at 861, November Tango Echo, left 13,000 on descent 12,000.
Tango Echo.
Oh, I wanted to show you guys how I did my weight balance for all my coffee back there. Now that we're up here, so we actually do all of our weight balance right in the Flight Span app. We've got 26 kgs in the hat rack, which is 2 empty propane bottles. We got 2 of my seats back there as well. I've got a couple bags in my front pod, a couple bags in my second pod, and then the rest, 300 kgs, I've just split up. It was 299 back right here. And so rather than just piling them on top of each other, which is just going to bring my CG closer to me, I actually like flying out of these places with closer to more of an aft CG. It's going to make you rotate easier. It just lets a lot of the pressure off the nose wheel for just taxiing and even bouncing up and down the runways. So really where it is now, it's about what, 2/3 of the way back, maybe not quite 3/4. That's where I really like. I could even have it back a little bit further, which is even a little bit nicer, but it's working for me today, so that's fine. That's how I do everything. Everybody's always concerned for me, you know, confusing, you know, pounds and kgs, but it's just a number. When you think of it that way, you're not doing the conversions in your head. Everything's done by a calculator, so I just hit the pounds or the kgs and it flips it all for me. No big deal. So the reason why we have to do both is because everything in this country is done in kgs, but everything in the G1000 is done in pounds. All of your fuel, even though we do liters here, it's just everything's a number, so it's really not confusing at all. Getting in out of the Goroka Valley, probably it's going to be this big green area right here is the Ramu Valley. And then you have more brown area. So we're going to have those mountains to go over, which you're seeing a bunch of clouds up there. That's the mountain ridge. So you can see over here, it kind of has a big low spot. That's probably the dirty water gap, I'm assuming, because where there's a low spot is where there's gaps. So the easiest would just be to go right over there, then right here. But he wants me to track on 268 going through his airspace, which I am right now. So I'll have to wait till I get past his airspace to go over there because he's expecting me. He doesn't have radar. He's expecting me to go on this track. You're going to want to watch the videos coming right after this one next week, or if this is you're watching it another time, because I'm heading out to a brand new airstrip I've never been to myself. Obviously, I've never taken you guys there. I'm very excited. It's like 8% touchdown, goes all the way up to a 15% slope. It's a really tight pattern. Getting in there, basically roll wings level, you're committed kind of thing. So I'm excited about that. So next Monday, today's Friday, I'm heading back out there to pick up some guys to Dungat, but I'm going to go to Yawin first, get self-checked out, and then I'm going to jump over to Dungat. So I've got 2 really fun videos for you coming right after this one, out to Yawin, and then back into Dungat where I just took off. That's an exciting place. Like I said, you actually land downhill on a 1% slope, and it's kind of like it really plays with your mind. Let me just quickly look to see where this starts at 13,000. So I'm not in his airspace now at 12,000, but if I cut this corner here, I will be. So once I get past that corner, then we'll head over to the dirty water. Actually, you know what? I think I could probably just get in anywhere up there, but that's gonna be the easiest. So my philosophy here in Papua New Guinea is, man, always take the easiest route. It just reduces your stress levels on a daily basis, which ends up to be a weekly basis, which ends to be a monthly basis, and at the end of the month, all those little easy decisions really adds up to your brain power and your workload. But anyway, back to Yawin. It's going to be a stellar place. I can't wait to show you. If I have some drone footage by the time this video comes out, I'll be sure to throw some up here just to get you excited about it, because I'm excited. All right, now that we're past this, let's just get our heading bug, make a couple little turns, maybe 5 degrees, to just aim for the lowest part of that cloud. We'll just cut around that, because that's where the highest mountain is, and then we'll just kind of work our way down into Goroka. But what we can do now, while we're not doing anything, is put in our altitude for Goroka. So we're just going to do basically 5,600, which is kind of turning final area. And we're going to come on down here, and we're going to do 800 feet per minute. Back here, and you can see my top of descent's right there, so it will let me know when I can start my descent, and it's one less decision I have to make. Also, I totally forgot, I just put in my order yesterday for my coffee table albums for you guys. I spent the past like 2.5 weeks working a ton on getting a coffee table album, like showcasing almost all of the locations that we go to here. It's going to be so sick. I'm super excited about it. And I hope to have these available for you guys for Christmas. So I don't have one to show you yet, but hopefully in another week and a half I will, so that I can actually show you what it looks like. But I think it's around 80 pages. And they're just like spreads on each one of the places we go to that covers some like history of the runway itself, how it was built, when it was built. Some of you have some pictures back in the 80s when they were built. And then some of them have some like culture things about the specific place. I know you guys are gonna love it. I've put a lot of work into it, a lot of drone photos that I've taken over the years. So I'm very excited to be sharing that with you guys. So check out the first link down below if it is available now. I'm going to be doing pre-orders starting mid-November, so that when I get them, I think I'll probably have them like the first week in December. I can just ship them out immediately and hopefully have them for Christmas for you guys. So check that link out down below.
Mostly 15 miles to Goroka,
15 miles Goroka, contact Tower November Tango Echo. And as I'm getting closer, man, I really don't think I can even get over here. I'm gonna have to climb back up, which I can do, but let's just go over here and see if we can wiggle through some of these clouds. My other option, I can just follow along this range all the way up and then just be looking for holes, and I can almost guarantee you know what, let's just do that. For fun's sake, let's just go on up and see if we could find a hole up that way, just to try to prove my point that usually gaps have holes in them. I'll probably be proved wrong today, but for the sake of this, it's the same distance, so why not, right? I'm expecting a gap right here at the dirty water. If I don't see one there, the next one up here is the Bennett gap. So out of those two areas that it's low, I can almost guarantee with 80% certainty that I'll be able to get through at 12,000.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
Well, it doesn't look like the dirty water gap is going to work for me. It should be right there unless we get all the way up to it and there's a hole. We'll see. I'm not seeing one yet. It should be right there. You can kind of see, I don't know if you can, but there's like a lower spot right where the clouds are. That's right where the gap is, but they're still pretty high up in the gap. If that one's not open, which is, let's come over here, 6,500 feet. My next one, the Bennett gap up here, I think is like 68. It says 6,800 feet. I could probably wiggle my way through. You might not see it on camera yet, but you can see it with your naked eye. Let me head that way, get closer, because it looks like there actually is a gap right through there. Actually, no, it's right there. Yeah, right there behind me. I just didn't even see it because I was looking up here. Look at that. There is a hole. Let's do it. I was just looking too high up and it had this cloud right here. So there we go. Let's head on down. Let's get our fuel on though. Yeah, really wide open. So there you go. I just heading down at 2,600 feet per minute for the initially. Pull my power just so I don't get going too fast. My max speed in this plane is 182, so I like to keep it at least 10 under that just to give myself some margin in case I'm not paying attention. Oh yeah, look at that. Boom, wide open. See what I mean? 80% of the time, it works every time. Nearest down here, we're 18 miles out from Goroka Tower, so we need to let them know at 15 miles. Go ahead and switch over to tower now. We'll drop down below this cloud layer here, and it looks really nice and clear out there. See what I mean? There's already some rain out here, and here, you know, it's only 11:20 in the morning, and as time goes on, this will probably be a lot rain. Within the next hour, it'll probably be a lot heavier rain out here. But then probably by, you know, 4 in the afternoon, it's going to be done raining, so. Goroka Tower, November Tango Echo.
November Tango Echo, Goroka Tower.
Morning again, November Tango Echo, 16 miles to the east at 8,500. Your circuit time 26.
November Tango Echo. Confirm Goroka estimate 26.
26, November Tango Echo.
November Tango Echo. Roger, Goroka 26. The runway 35 right, wind is light and variable, QNH 1021. Truck for right base. Report as to please.
1021, track report, right base 35, right, no, Tango Echo. If we have to go around, it's power up. 20 degrees of flaps. Pitch for 12 degrees on the attitude indicator and reset our ITT up to 740. Alright, looking over here at the Binna, it looks like it is also doable, but we would have had to gone past it and then looked in this way. So that's another gap that we were looking at if the dirty water did not work. We want to be entering into our base around 6,100 feet. So the way I do it in my mind is I want to be 6,100 feet on my downwind, 1,000 feet above the ground. If I'm coming in not on downwind, I'm just coming in on a base, basically I kind of unfold my whole circuit, my whole pattern, and think in my head, where would I be 6,100 feet? How far out would I be so that I'm entering into my base about 5,800 to 5,900 feet like I would normally do. So it's kind of just like kind of drawing a picture into the ground in front of you going, all right, where do I need to be? The easiest way really for me is if I just point to the end of the runway, wherever I am, and have a visual of like on this airplane, it's going to be about 3 to 4 fingers. That's going to give me a really nice 700 feet per minute descent all the way down to my spot where I want to be, and I'm going to be at that altitude. Normal. Goroka Tower, November Tango Echo, right base 35 right.
November Tango Echo, runway 35 right, clear to land.
Clear to land 35 right, November Tango Echo. I'm normally at 20 degrees of flaps entering into my base, so there's 20 degrees of flaps. And we went 68 on final. It's a long runway. I don't really need to go that slow. It's not critical. So typically I usually come in around 70 knots just because it's bumpier. We've got downdrafts into Goroka. There's no sense in working super hard to get back into Goroka. There's full flaps. Checklist is complete. All right, 2 knots of tailwind, 2 knots of crosswind. Go down for about the 1,000-foot marker because I'm a little bit high on this approach. I did not set my QNH for my local. Yes,
500.
Yes, I do make mistakes too. Typically I'll land at maybe the 500-foot marker, so it's not typical that I go all the way to the 1,000-foot here. All right, checklist is complete. Nothing's on the runway. We're choosing to continue. $600, 550 on the descent. That's looking really nice. Oh, you can smell the coffee roasters. There's a bunch of coffee roasters just down that street. Out birds. A low idle, it's my only flight for the day. Be sure to watch the next video. It's going to be a good, exciting one, going out to Yalwyn, a brand new place. I've never been, I've never taken you guys. It's a steep, beautiful, beautiful location. So be sure to check out the video that pops up here in the corner of the page. Thanks for joining me on this flight. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to give it a thumbs up, comment down below what you thought, what you liked, what you didn't like, and see you guys next time.